Topic 1. Apple sues OpenAI over alleged trade secret theft. Apple has filed a lawsuit in the U.S. District Court for the Northern District of California, alleging that OpenAI illegally obtained Apple trade secrets and confidential information to develop consumer hardware. The suit names OpenAI, former Apple employees Tang Tan, OpenAI's chief hardware officer, and Chang Liu, a former Apple engineer, and I/O Products, among others. Apple alleges OpenAI recruited applicants to bring parts, prototypes, and design materials to interviews, coached departing employees to evade security, failed to recover Apple-owned laptops, and that internal systems were accessed to download dozens of confidential hardware files, with an OpenAI contact emailing supplier and manufacturing process details. Apple seeks damages, return and preservation of confidential materials, and an injunction barring OpenAI's use of the trade secrets. OpenAI denies interest in other companies' trade secrets, and the suit threatens the 2024-era partnership to integrate ChatGPT on iPhones and could affect OpenAI's hardware plans and IPO preparations. Topic 2. The New York Times countersues the EEOC over alleged retaliatory use of authority. The EEOC filed a discrimination suit on behalf of a white employee, Bryant Russo, who said he faced race and sex discrimination in being passed over for deputy editor, and 8 days after a Times story, the agency sued the paper. The New York Times has filed a counterclaim, alleging the EEOC brought the lawsuit in retaliation for its reporting that agency staff were pressured to pursue cases aligned with an anti-DEI agenda, and noting the EEOC's initial investigation effectively found no evidence that race or sex were considered. The Times argues the EEOC's actions violate the First Amendment, the Fifth Amendment's due process protections, and the Administrative Procedure Act, and seeks dismissal of the EEOC suit plus legal fees. The EEOC declined to comment and characterized the original filing as representing the specific employee. Topic 3. New York Times reporters face subpoenas related to Air Force One reporting. Federal grand jury subpoenas have been issued to New York Times reporters Julian E. Barnes, Eric Lipton, Tyler Pager, Eric Schmidt, and others, compelling testimony in Manhattan about reporting on security issues involving the replacement Air Force One aircraft donated by Qatar. Some subpoenas were reportedly delivered to reporters' homes by federal agents. The Times had reported that the refurbished jet underwent a $400 million refit, but lacked some high-end missile defeat and other security equipment that led to secret protection recommendations to replace the plane, a concern amid tensions with Iran. The Times lawyers called the subpoenas a shocking infringement on press freedoms and viewed the move as part of administrative pressure on media, while the White House says the new plane has no security problems and the Justice Department and White House declined immediate comment. Prior administrations have issued and then withdrawn reporter subpoenas in similar disputes. Topic 4. Occidental's realized oil prices jumped amid Iran-related tensions. Occidental reported that its global realized oil price averaged $96.70 per barrel in Q2, a 38.4% increase from $69.91 the prior quarter, tracking a rise in the Brent benchmark to about $96.68. The company attributed the rise to an expanded geopolitical risk premium tied to Iran-related tensions and potential Strait of Hormuz supply disruptions, while global realized natural gas prices swung to -80s per from $1.20 the prior quarter, and NGL prices rose nearly 30% to $24.64 per barrel. Despite windfall profits, U.S. oil majors are prioritizing share buybacks and debt reduction over ramping drilling, citing political pressure from the Trump administration to expand drilling and concerns about political backlash. Companies are treating the price spike as a short-term shock and focusing on efficiency rather than rapid capacity expansion amid market and politics.